So guys, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dimas with Firdaus, and today I'm gonna tell you guys some interesting story. It sad story actually, but hope you guys enjoy this. And maybe you guys ever heard it. And it's the story. It's called The Little Match Girl. Yeah. So let's go about it. So it began with the once upon a time in the New Year's Eve and very cold night. There's a little girl with a bare head and naked feet. She wore an old apron, and in that an old apron there's a bundle of match that she had to sold it. But no one bought that match so as much as her hat, and it means she's very poor. She was very poor, and yeah, the and no one ever give her even a penny, like which means that she was very poor. And the snowflakes fall into her pretty face, and the snowflakes fall in onto her pretty hair, and it becomes a pretty curls. So yeah, actually she was very beautiful. She didn't realize how beautiful she was, and she didn't care about that. She didn't care about the cold, but it's very cold in that. So she started walk along the street again with her naked feet, but her feet it started swollen blue. It started turn into swollen blue, like it's very bad things happen. So yeah, it's very sad. And she walk along the street and saw every house with a very beautiful light from that window, and she could smell a delicious of a roast goose, yeah, of a roast goose. She could smell of a roast goose, and she was very starved in that night, and she couldn't stop thinking about that. So suddenly she was very tired, and in the corner of a between of two houses she sat, and she took off her feet in underneath, like what is in Indonesia, melengkup, yeah, it's like that. So yeah, she was very cold, and her hands is nearly frozen. So she started to light a match, and yeah, the match is very warm, with a blame, and yeah, it's very warm to light a match for a poor little girl. uh, yeah, it's a good things, little girl, good job. And then uh, besides her there's a dump wall, and when the lid when the match is lit, the damp wall is magically disappeared, vanished, and turned into a dining room, into a good dining room. And yeah, into a good dining room, there's a beautiful apron, there's a luxury Chinese plate, and on the Chinese plate there's a roast goose that she wanted to eat in that night. Yeah, and magically, the roast goose is jumped from the table and walk into her. But sadly, as the roast goose jumped from the table and walked into her, the lid is went out. So the damn wall is turned and become a damn wall again, and the dining room is vanished. So she started a match again because it was very cold. Yep, the magic lace happened again, and now it's not dining room, but it was a big Christmas tree. And she thought that there's a big Christmas tree that ever she saw in that city. In every shop, in the window, that is a big Christmas tree that ever she saw. Then yeah, she was very happy to see that big Christmas tree with her beauty light, with her beauty of Christmas tree. And suddenly and sadly, the Christmas tree is vanished too, as much as the match is went out again. But before the Christmas tree is vanished, the light of Christmas tree is flew into the sky, high and higher again. And then she looked up the sky, and there's something's falling in that sky. Yep, it's a star's fall. And she remember, and she yelled gitu. And she yelled, now someone is dying. Actually, you are dying, man. You are dying. The Actually, she's dying in the frozen weather and cold weather. Like, oh my god. And she remembered that her grandmother once said that if you ever seen stars fall, maybe someone is dying. And it actually happened. She is dying right now, and it's very very sad that the little poor girl is dying in the frozen cold in the outside of the house in New Year's Eve. So because it's very cold, she started lit a match again, and that's magically happened. And this is very magical. Her grandmother is appeared, which means her grandmother is already died, and her grandmother is appeared on in front of her, like wow, like the other stuff too, like dining room and the Christmas tree. And yep, because she was very happy to meet her grandmother again, like, oh hi grandmother, I'm so happy to see you, and I don't want to lose you again. I don't want you to vanish again, like the other stuff, like the dining room, like the big Christmas tree. I don't want you vanish like that. So to make sure, i'm gonna let I'm gonna let all of the match. So she, to make sure that her grandmother is not vanished again like the other stuff, so she lit off all her match, like, yeah, and her match is used of all. And yep, her grandmother is very beautiful in that. Then, and yeah, the grandmother took softly the little child. Come on sweetheart, let's go out of here, let's get out of here. Like, yeah, the little child is wanted to go to the grandmother too. She said, take me grandmother, I can't take this anymore. Like, I'm very poor, I'm very cold right now, it's very cold in here. Look, my hand is frozen, and my father isn't love me too. Like, what kind of father that let her princess in the outside of New Year's Eve, and it's very cold right there. So it's very very bad father. So the grandmother and the child is flew to the sky, higher and higher again, into the heaven, which means the little child is died. The little girl is dead, and to the heaven. And in the next morning, in the very next morning, the people in the city found the little child on the corner of between of two houses, and the little child is in the same position in that night. In she tucked her feet in underneath herself, and it's frozen, and she was frozen, like very very frozen. It's very sad and creepy actually, but yeah, it's very sad. The little girl was frozen in same position with all match are already used. But the face is red, and her face is smile, like the face is the red cheeks, and her face is smile. So the people is wondering why she was happy in outside, like the outside is very cold, and why she was happy. Maybe they don't know how magically happened. She was saw a dining room, she was saw a big Christmas tree ever she saw, and magically her grandmother took her into the heaven. So which means she was very happy. Yep. And in the end, the little girl is happily ever after in the heaven with her grandmother. So that's the end of the story. Hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, it's very sad story actually, but hope you guys understand my English, because my English is very bad. Yeah, and my pronouns is not good enough. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Oh yeah, I forgot this. There's a sentences that makes me feel very very touched in my heart from this, what is it, from this story. So it's called frozen to the death on the last evening of the New Year's Eve. Like, oh my god, it's very sad story actually, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy the story. So the moral of the story is we have to bless with our life, and we have to do our best to survive in this cruel life. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay at home guys, and stay safe. Keep healthy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.